Hello, welcome to Quality Time. Today we have an amazing person I got an opportunity to do work with. He's really passionate about what he does. Please welcome Ajay Bhamare, Senior Vice President, Aditya Birla Sun Life Insurance. Welcome, Ajay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes. Ajay, to start with, it would be really great if you can just share your journey so far and the insights that you have learned from last 25 years of your career.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, it's been a wonderful journey so far. Life insurance has always excited me. Even before joining the industry, actually, I used to sell insurance on behalf of my brother.
Oh, okay.
So that this is how the journey started. So when I was in the last year of my graduation, that is where actually I got into this particular industry, and I joined Life Insurance Corporation of India. That's a Indian insurance company.
Yes.
So I worked there for almost a decade, and once the industry opened up for the private players, I joined in 2005 Aditya Birla Sun Life Insurance. So since then, I'm continuing with Aditya Birla Sun Life Insurance.
It's 14 years.
Yeah.
It's quite a journey.
Yeah, so far as Aditya Birla Sun Life Insurance is concerned, it is my 19th year. I have completed 19 years.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah, it is 2005 that I joined.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And then how did your role evolve?
Yeah. So I started with the operations where I was managing, all the customer service requests those used to come, and from there onwards, looking at my interest in technology, the company felt that I would be best fit into something related to technology. So I got into projects. So I did multiple transformation projects actually. As part of that, I the first wave of the regulations which came in 2006. That was a major change in terms of the way products were sold in life insurance. That was the one big project that I managed. And post that, there has been multiple transformation projects. So the initial focus was for the industry was how do we get into automation. So a lot of focus was because the industry was new in the relative sense. I'm talking about the private life insurance companies. So lot of automation focus was there. So we worked on how do we automate some of the processes which are pertaining to the core application, because the peripheral ecosystem was still not present at that particular point. So a lot of focus was on the processing directly into the core applications. So that was the focus area. And after that, the focus changed in how do we evolve the middle office. So in the middle office, like, workflow automations, so we implemented the BPM, the end-to-end BPM solution for our complete customer onboarding and policy issuance.
Okay.
Yeah. Then the third wave was that how do I service the customer, remotely? That was the focus. And from there onwards, then the digital wave came. So into digital, there were a lot of transformations. The primary focus was that how do I reach the customer directly? So that was a focus. So earlier, everything was on paper, the handwritten application forms. That was quite a bit of hassle in terms of the way the distribution had to go through, where you have to physically meet the customer, fill up the complete application form. And knowing insurance, it's a little complex instrument of all the financial instruments that we have. So filling up the 10-page application form for a customer, it was quite a laborious task.
Yes.
Yeah, and there were quite of edits that those used to happen. So it was challenging for the customer as well, and also the distributor. And same is the case with us, because we had to then digitize that particular form. So we used to have a big house for data entry, and that itself was like particularly I remember life insurance is a cyclical business, as you know. Particularly in the month of March, you will see that there's a huge surge in the volumes in life insurance. So we literally used to put pandals just to do the data entry of the applications which we have sourced. And typically, if you see, this is an industry phenomenon, and way back, of course, it has tapered down over a period of time, but almost 10% of your business, overall annual business, used to get in the last 3 days of the year.
Wow.
So that is a scale that we had to build. So it was a exciting journey, and at the same time very challenging as well. So that is the phase that I have seen. So considering that particular challenge, So the primary focus for the industry was then how do we digitalize the whole customer onboarding. Okay, so that was one of the big initiatives that we worked upon. So it's quite a wonderful journey that I have been, and of course with that, whatever the projects that we have done, the quality was supreme, and for that, we had to, considering that I was heading at that particular point the business solutions group. So as part of my job role, one was that I have to interact with the users, understand their requirements, get it documented, and give it to my tech team for doing the development, getting the development done, and then the testing was one particular responsibility, which was the most critical of all, because there is where actually you actually ensure that you are giving a quality product out to the distributor and to the customer. So this is a bit of journey so far.
Oh, amazing journey.
Yeah.
And quite funny also. Yeah. So, you said that it was first the core applications, then the middle office, and then it's all about the customer experience.
Yeah.
And how do you reach the customer faster?
Yeah.
Yeah. So from your role as senior vice president in IT, what were the changes from technology, people? What kind of transition you have gone through?
Yeah. So as I said, the focus earlier was towards automation. So the ask was basically for automation is how do I reduce my operational cost, and how do I become more efficient. Okay, so that was the focus. So that required that kind of mindset where you are thinking of how do you reduce the per transaction cost. That was the focus. It was less on the customer side, but more on inward thinking, like how as an industry how do we be more efficient in our operations. So that was the focus. Then the second was purely to bring in more efficiency. Of course, that required a lot of digitization of the services, where if a customer wants a simple ask like an address change, the customer had to walk into the branch for changing his address. So how do we give the ease to the customer? That was the focus. So with that, then we constantly evolved our processes. We launched our customer portal, and through which the customer could apply for this address change. But the focus again was not making that whole process STP. The process was that how do I as a customer sitting in my home, how do I service myself. That was the focus. And then overall the processes in the backend was someone has to do the punching of that request into the core application. So from that, then we went into the digitalization, where we are talking about instant gratification, where whatever the service that you are giving, an online real time service integration is happening through and through, and we are giving that real time experience to the customer. So it's a quite a bit of journey in the whole thing. The challenges were, of course, the technology was evolving. We were making a lot of process changes. There was a regulation. The regulator was keeping us busy because there were so many regulations that I have seen. At least 4 waves of regulations that I have seen in my journey in my current organization over a period of 18 years. So that continuous, the way distribution has changed. The distribution earlier was like, largely there were 2 channels. One was the agency channel and the other was bank assurance channel. So in bank assurance, there are, we have seen a lot of changes which have happened with the advent of, with the opening up of the open architecture I'm talking about, where one bank can, tie up with multiple insurance companies. That has, brought up new set of challenges for the insurance companies as well and for the banks as well. Because the bank, the person sitting at the customer help desk, if he's trying to source insurance policy for the customer, here then there is a plethora of insurance products which are available for him. So training, that was a challenge. Then again, sourcing the business, understanding the processes of that particular insurance company. So that imagine the situation of that particular guy in that bank assurance channel, to understand the processes across. So what has happened is that with the changes, the continuous evolution of the insurance industry, we have to we had the challenge of how do we keep abreast ourselves in terms of the technological advancements which are happening. So all these challenges has forced us to keep on evolving as a tech team.
This is very interesting, Ajay. So many things are changing or disrupting. You said market is changing. You said technologies are changing. You said what is there to do and handle from customer service perspective is changing. Now it is like end-to-end integrated process. Instant gratitude is what you talked about. And of course, the regulator on the other side.
Yeah.
With so many changes and so much of pressure on delivery, what are the real-time, day-to-day quality challenges that you faced? Because it is not easy, right? With so many applications, with so much of pressure, with so many changes almost every day, uh, no system can work seamlessly without rigorous testing, and it seems nobody has that time. So, what challenges did you face?
Yeah, I'll give a bit of a background. As you understand, life insurance is a long-term contract. It is anything ranging between 15 to 20 years. And in fact, some of the products are whole life. So, it is quite complex in nature because throughout the policy life cycle, there's so many stages, so many milestones, so many commitments that we have given to the customer. Okay, in the form of survival benefits, in the form of a maturity, in the form of a surrender, in terms of in the form of a withdrawal of the fund value. So maintaining the data integrity, ensuring whatever the initial code that we have developed, whatever the rules that we have written, whatever the product setups that we have done, the sanctity of the data is maintained, and we are able to service the customer. We are able to honor our commitments over a period of 20 years in a policy life cycle is a huge challenge.
Yes.
Yeah. Quality is of supreme because the customer is investing his life savings into the contract. He is expecting that kind of value to be coming out after the 20 years. Maybe he has planned for his retirement by buying that particular product. And that's why quality becomes very supreme in that sense to ensure that, we are honoring the commitments. So, whenever there is a product launch, typically in insurance, the go-to market becomes extremely important. That whatever the new idea that you have, how soon you can go to the market and take the advantage of the first mover. That is the biggest challenge whenever a new product is launched. So, you are running against the time, and at the same time, you have to maintain the quality. And there is where it's a tightrope walk that you have to go through. And there is where the challenge comes that, how do we ensure that the quality is up to the mark? So it's been a challenging journey that we have gone through. Earlier, we tried our hands. Of course, everything was manual at some point of time, where we had a fleet of people who were doing the testing at our end. We had to, develop the whole, test pack to ensure that, none of the scenarios are left out and all that. The basic hygiene that we had to build as a team, so far as quality is concerned, and then. It was definitely not sustainable over a period of time because the market was very demanding. There was a constant pressure on us that how do we reduce the go-to market. So, of course, so far as the development work is concerned, on that also a lot of changes happen in terms of how do we set up the products in such a way that it becomes easy for us to do the basic setup of the that particular product. But testing was something which was still evolving so far as my team was concerned. So as I said, completely manual. Then we had to really look at that. How do we get into automation? So we tried our hands on a lot of applications. Of course, Selenium is one such product which enables you to do the automation, but it requires a lot of understanding of that particular product. It requires a lot of expertise in the way you are designing the whole setup, and considering that the market is evolving, as we spoke about, whatever that you have thought about a year back, you feel that it is no more relevant in terms of the way you have scripted, you have architected the whole the test automation pack. So we tried our hands. Frankly speaking, I failed miserably twice in this particular journey, and then I think it was time to evolve and see what is the next that is available, and there is where actually we got into the test automation journey. So on that also we tried some of the tools which will be helping us doing the auto scripting, and of course Qualitia helped us in a big way.
So you said the initial approach was ramping up on manual testing, and you're not different. So many companies we worked with or we are working with, the journey was like hundreds of testers, but still not being able to really complete the testing because there is so much to test.
Yeah.
Many of them tried with Selenium as a journey, and that was easy to get started. Of course, it's still a very popular tool for those who believe programming is a way to do automation. But as you rightly said, adopting changes is the biggest reason why Selenium projects are not being able to cope up with the changes. So, and you are not the only one, Ajay, who failed. Uh, but we really appreciate leaders like you accept and move on. And very few can comfortably do so. Otherwise, there is a lot of struggle retaining, protecting what you have done, and and then everybody is a sufferer there. But yeah, very interesting. So before you chose Qualitia, you have evaluated multiple tools, as you said.
Yeah.
What was your criteria? What was your thinking before even inviting those 4 or 5 for the evaluation? What kind of tool that you were looking for?
See, in life insurance, though we are talking about, the real-time services and instant gratification that we talk about, but there are still certain processes which are like EOD activities where there is a lot of, dependency on the end of day batches that we have to run, because there are so many charges that we have to recover. There's so many, processes that we have to, process at the end of the day, like a maturity of the policy. It happens at the end of the day. Uh, we were not, so the first criteria was like, which particular, automation tool is going to support that kind of complexity. That was one particular angle. So the way, the nature of the life insurance is so complex that, one is that, the customer prospecting, then onboarding, and then, setting up the policy into your core application, issuance of the policy, and the servicing, and thereby the claims. It's a long journey.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So setting up that entire thing requires, there's a lot of stages through which this policy has to go, and there were the number of applications that it has to go. So we, the criteria was that a tool which will help us to do that whole journey as one single journey and give me the output. That was, so primarily these were the two asks, and the third was, of course, it has to, it should be able to manage that kind of scale. But when we are talking about any new product launch, there are at least 2,000 test cases that we have to run. So it should be able to manage that kind of scale. So primarily these were the 3-4 criteria on which we were evaluating the tools.
So end-to-end integration testing, we also believe that it is one of the most important factor before you make the final go-to-market decision. So while there are different type of applications, APIs, batches, um, not being able to support this, not only from the UI journey perspective, even from the test data management perspective, is one of the challenging tasks even for a test automation tool. And yes, I'm happy that you chose Qualitia. So while you were evaluating the tool, Ajay, were you looking for, apart from the technology support, were you looking for any other aspect? And did you choose your team who would be evaluating a tool based on that criteria?
Yeah. So, see, when we are talking about quality, it's not just the tech team which is involved in this whole process. There are the functional people also who are involved in the whole journey, because they are the best people to understand, what kind of business scenarios which are there on the ground happening, which the technology team may not be fully aware of, the ground realities. So, test automation tool, in a way, should help the person who is actually on the ground, who should be able to identify those kind of test cases and automate those. So if at all you are expecting that a skilled resource has to do that, then you are limiting yourself in terms of whatever the automation that you are building, because then in that case it extends the whole journey, and you are expecting a set of expert people who are doing that particular automation. So we are looking at a tool which will enable even the person who is managing a customer service should be able to do the kind of automation, because it is a collaborative journey when we are talking about quality automation.
No, excellent.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of more questions for you. So as a journey from manual testing to all this fast-paced delivery and automation testing, so do you have any real life example where these quality initiatives has actually helped you in improving customer experience?
Yeah, in the recent times, actually, we have implemented Salesforce. Yeah, so of course, Salesforce is a ready product. You have to do the configuration of all your services, whatever the call types, subtypes that you have, and considering the complexity of the business. Of course, there's a lot of focus towards automation and doing giving a instant gratification to the customer. So it's a complex nature when you are doing a setup, a CRM setup for a life insurance domain. So Salesforce, of course, we were fighting against time. Like it was, we had a target that within 6 months we have to go live with Salesforce. So for us, setting it up, and first of all, understanding the requirements, doing the setups, and thereby completing the whole the quality aspects, doing it in 6 months was the biggest challenge. So for us, test automation was something which is very imperative, and there is where actually the Cuboson helped us in doing the whole auto scripting. We could complete the whole automation in 4 weeks of time with your help.
Yes.
And the execution almost took almost 2 weeks for us to do the multiple cycles of testing. And this is how, I mean, it is one of the success stories that we have in Aditya Birla Sun Life Insurance.
So the success that you have, the recent success in terms of being on time or optimizing time of your delivery or being in the control of the delivery using test automation.
Yeah.
Okay, great. This is really nice. Ajay, when you said you had failure for 2 times when you were driving automation in the past, so when did you realize that the whole attempt is failed? Is it at the end, or did you start realizing it, or did somebody tell you that it has failed completely before you could act?
Of course, you start a project not to fail. So I was quite hopeful that whenever we started this particular journey, that we will have that kind of end state in mind, that where things will be pretty smooth, and we will have lesser dependency on manual testers and more towards automation. But it was like the stark reality struck our mind immediately when we encountered another set of challenges. I mean, new set of projects, and we thought that, and whatever that we had done, we had to completely undo. So it was at the probably the end of the journey is what I realized, that we will have to scrap whatever that we have built.
Okay. Yeah. And what do you think were the reason? Why did it fail?
There were multiple reasons. As I said, the kind of technology maybe we were not ready for. Okay, that was one reason. Or maybe the technology was there, but it was not for us. Yeah, because typically in a core tech setup, IT setup, or IT company, that particular setup may work, because you will have that kind of expertise available with you to maneuver and find a way towards making it successful. So for us, we didn't have that kind of expertise within the team. We thought that there should be some product which will, with whatever the current expertise that we have, how we will be able to move in that particular direction, which will take us to the ultimate goal of complete automation.
Ajay, what kind of leader are you? What is your leadership style?
Yeah. So I don't have any particular leadership style to say so, because it's very situational. It all depends on at that particular point of time what is expected out of me in terms of taking a decision, or dealing with people, or managing a particular situation. So when it comes to when I'm managing a large project probably, and I have fleet of people who are already experts in the team, then all that I have to do is play a role of a catalyst just to make that reaction to happen faster. Yeah, so it's more about guiding the people whenever they require. Just give the direction as and when they require. It's total empowerment at that particular point of time, and the team will deliver for you. In a situation where it is a stressful situation where you are running against time, that time you have to be a little directive with whatever the experience that you have to manage that particular situation. And the team is looking up to you for giving those particular direction. Then you have to get into the thick of the action, and you have to come out of that particular situation. So it all depends on the situation and the people you are dealing with.
Okay. I have a last question, Ajay, for you in this session. And this is for the upcoming leaders, the leaders that you may hire as you scale up, or the upcoming leaders who will drive quality engineering for IT leaders like you. What is your message for them? What is your expectations for them?
Oh, it's a big question. So one is that whatever that we have achieved so far, we cannot sit on that. There's a constant evolution in the technology. AI is going to play a major role in this. So how we embed AI on the technologies like Qualitia is something which would be a next goal or a next vision that we should be setting ourselves to. And there is where the next level of leadership has to play a critical role on. Because the kind of scale that we are talking about, the pace at which we are operating and evolving as an industry, it becomes important that we adopt AI sooner into quality engineering.
So this is very interesting point. So what do you expect AI to deliver from quality engineering perspective? Let's say 1 year, 2 year as a roadmap. While AI technology is also evolving,
Yeah.
but what magic that you expect AI to deliver in testing or automation?
Yeah. So there are a lot of aspects on that, but primarily that comes immediately in my mind is how do you automate the test cases generation part. We have products, we have standard set of BRDs that we write, because in that particular situation, again rewriting the test cases all over, creating the data to execute those test cases is quite a laborious activity. While automation helps in doing the execution and giving you the results, but the earlier part is a substantial portion which still remains to be automated. There is a big area in that. How we evolve in that is something which would be a interesting thing, and I would like to be a part of that particular journey, and will be happy to be considered as a lab to be doing these experiments in this direction.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
We will be happy to invest with you, Ajay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.